I think our generation has really been, lost. And, just reading a lot of articles about, the Generation Y. It is the worst generation. That's what the New York Post said about our generation as Gen Y, the millennials. And then, reading other articles by, some Christians who are talking about why millennials are leaving the church, and then article from Time magazine about us being the me generation. And it's so sad to see that the Gen Ys, those who were born from 1980 to 2000, is that generation has been lost. And so I think one of my desires to really think of ways on how to capture back the heart of that generation towards, the glory of God, the beauty of Jesus, and how we can use that so that, in and through us, God will show himself to the world. And so one of the things that I felt was the Lord has really put in my heart is that, how do we awaken this generation to the need of rooting and releasing the next generation, and how we in this generation can usher, our little brothers and sisters towards a life that will really show the glory and the beauty of Jesus. And that came up to me when I was coming back to the Philippines, and was gripped by the statistics that there are a lot of children who are being sold, into slavery, into sexual trafficking. And so I felt that God is calling me, in that kind of ministry. And so I want, to see myself as somebody who can really, reach out to, to how do we really reach out and root, these children and women who are involved into prostitution. And so, I think it's very important for us as a generation to really live with passion, but also with a purpose. Sometimes they say that, your generation is just full of passion, but you don't have a purpose. And one of my favorite authors said that the place where God calls you is the place where your deep gladness and the world deep hunger meets. And so I think for us to really live out a passionate life, we have to know what is the purpose of that passion that the Lord has placed in us. There is something, that's burning in your heart to do, but at the same time, there would be a need in the world that we can, that can be, a marriage that you will, show to the world that yes, Jesus is our treasure and that he's precious to us. And so I think that's one of the things that we can do so that we can win the next generation. So that, the Generation Y will have to be focused on, the passions that we have, but also, answering a need in the world.